Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Got these ice sucking nuts while my little BG's on the bus putting out cigarette butts. But me personally, Playboy, I don't give a and I'm always show love to my cut. Hit the club and light the up. Cash money model with the drink till we throw up. Point them out, guaranteed I can war days. I'm tattooed and barred up. Medallion iced up. Rolex bezeled up and my pinky ring is platinum plus. Earrings be trillion cut and my grill be slugged up. My heart deal with anger cause I don't give a Stack my cheese up cause one day I'ma get this street life up. Beef, I don't discuss. Got a line, gon' get this motherfucking head bust. Cash money, millionaires plus. Don't touch up if you can't. 20 inches with TVs is a must. By the year 2000, I'ma gut out my butt.
One little 17, playing with 6 figures. Got so much ice you can skate on it. When you see cash money, you know we stay close. Catch a girl down bad, you know we straight toast. Seen a click yet that can stunt like mine. Seen a Marriott that can run like mine. 1999 and it's our turn to shine. 50 or better on our wrist and they all blind. Going vodka till I die, drink till I faint. Till it tell me I need help to drink. My baby told me work, trick to them. Baby told me work niggas better than your nose. I'm the freak of the clique. Keep it on the tuck so I creep on the and I play raw, never sleep with a keep it real with my never weak for never weak for
bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Pinky ring word about bitty, bling bling. Every time I buy a new ride, bling bling. Lorenzo's on your traumatized, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Pinky ring word about bitty, bling bling. Every time I buy a new ride, bling bling. Lorenzo's on your traumatized.
It's the with the Lex Bubba, candy coated helicopter with the leather cover. If it's not take off the rubber, then toss that. Cause I don't love her. All love, man, they bought a private plane. Then turned around and sold it to Juve and Wayne. They put 30 inch Lorenzo's on that thing, man. I know you out there just don't understand.
I'm a 1999 driver. I'm a uptown third wall Magnolia TC rider. Oh, ignorant, always stunting. Big ballin', you can see him when he coming. Boot it up, diamond up, be shining up, motherfucker be blinding us. The second line be saying, I be damn. Up in their best fit saying, Juba got me again.
Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Pinky ring words about bitty, bling bling. Every time I buy a new ride, bling bling. Lorenzo's on your traumatized, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Pinky ring words about bitty, bling bling. Every time I buy a new ride, bling bling. Lorenzo's on your traumatized.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me. I stay flossed out all through the week. My money long, if you don't know, I'm the BG. I be all in they home. Be like, look at that Benz on all that chrome. Diamonds worn by everybody that's in my clique. Man, I got the price of a mansion around my neck and wrist. My baby getting a special built machine. A Mercedes-Benz 700 V14. I know you can't believe that. I can't wait to see your haters' face when you see that. Man, look at that. Well, shades just to stand on side of me. Say, take that chain off, boy, you're blinding me. All day my phone ringing, bling, bling, bling. You can see my earring from a mile, bling, bling.
Bling, bling. Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Pinky ring word about bitty, bling, bling. Every time I buy a new ride, bling, bling. Lorenzo's on your traumatized, bling, bling. Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Pinky ring word about bitty, bling, bling. Every time I buy a new ride, bling, bling. Lorenzo's on your
Alright. Ain't this what you came for? Don't you wish you came more? Girl, what you playing for? Come on, let me kiss that. Ooh, I know you missed that. What's wrong? Let me fix that. Twist that. Baby, tonight's the night.
Welcome in. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I hope that you are having an amazing Tuesday, that you are relaxed, locked, and loaded, and ready for a bunch of trending topics across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture with me, Jill Munroe. Let me give you a rundown of the topics that we're getting into tonight. First up, the Bling Bishop, Lamor Whitehead. He's been convicted of several crimes. But he wants to know, what about his kids? So we're going to get into what he has been convicted of and his comments regarding it. In hour two, there's a lot of athletes that have gone into politics after their careers, as well as Hollywood actors. So there's another one that is considering throwing their hat into the political arena once they're done playing. We're going to get into Steph Curry's comments about why a career in politics is something that he's considering in the future. And in the third hour, Michael B. Jordan, he is sharing with the world how he gets lonely sometimes, but, work gets in the way. So we're going to get into his comments a little bit. Plus, of course, we have more trending topics and headlines. We have a Drea update for you already. We're also going to get into a little bit about a conversation that has been going around on TikTok. And it surrounds what some Black people are considering other Black people being anti-Black about. And it concerns Black people in the hood. We will get into all the details of that when we come forward. Make sure that you stay locked and loaded. Of course, here's a reminder. If you aren't already, make sure you're following us, KBLA 1580. I'm, of course, at Stiletto Jill. And if you want to get in on the conversation at any point tonight, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. On the other side, more trending topics and headlines.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Getting connected has never been easier. Get free Wi-Fi at all LA County library locations, inside the library and outside in the parking lots. Visit your local library and get connected today.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that for Bree's car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Bree's car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy for Breeze. La 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 la.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So before we get into the Bishop story, we have to let you know, of course, that Beyonce has announced and released some visuals for her upcoming country album. It's going to be dropping March 29th, as was previously announced. And the name of it is Cowboy Carter. And we've seen some visuals that include a saddle with a Beyonce sash on it. There's Beyonce in some glasses with what looks to be a rattlesnake. Beyonce with some braids, cowboy hat. So we'll have to see what's going to come of this. There's also a rumored track listing that it's making its way around. Dolly Parton already spilled the beans that Beyonce is going to be incorporating Jolene in some aspect on the album. If you believe the track listing that is floating around, it is a different song, a song of a different name, but it says Jolene in parentheses. So maybe there's an interlope. Maybe it's a new interpretation of it. So it's an interesting mix, again, if these song titles are correct, kind of what we know Beyonce for and her, sassiness and women empowerment, but also with the country mix. So we only have a couple more weeks. March 29th, Beyonce goes country. And get your cowboy boots ready. Yeehaw. Last night we talked about Drea Michelle and her announcing her pregnancy, her third child, with 22-year-old NBA star Jalen. Why did I just blank on Jalen's last name? For the Houston Rockets, Jalen Green. So today, Drea, as she revealed time in her men's swimwear house, that's her swimwear line, and relaxing, she also showed a little something about her Instagram account. And it was her analytics. And it says that she reached 451% more accounts compared to the week prior. So in total, she reached 3 million accounts, that there were 500,000 accounts engaged. That's up 800%. And her total followers has gone up, and she's currently at 9.6 million. And she says, wow, numbers, nothing in red, meaning nobody is unfollowing with all the complaining that's jumping off. And she said, welcome new followers. So I guess Drea is saying, you guys are talking all that junk, but you're still locked in and interested, which a lot of times is the case. So we will have to see as this develops. She's putting on her armor clearly and seems to be ready to defend herself in earnest against all the naysayers. So let's talk about Bling Bishop Lamor Whitehead. He was found guilty of fraud and potentially he's looking at a 45-year sentence. Now, he became popular on social media, with some of his sermons and his look. He's also friends with New York's mayor, Eric Adams. He's been dubbed the Bling Bishop basically because he's very flashy. So he was found guilty of convicted of stealing the life savings of a parishioner's mother. She was 90 years old. And he also falsely claimed that Mayor Adams bestowed upon him the key to the city in order to facilitate the fraud with the individual. So the deliberation was quick. He's 46 years old, and he was found guilty on all 5 accounts, which include wire fraud, attempted extortion, lying to the FBI, and charges related to 3 distinct different schemes. So, of course, his lawyer said that they are appealing the verdict. But basically, like I said, he is, or was, I assume, a mentee of Mayor Adams. He pled not guilty on all charges, and he delivered an emotional speech the day before the verdicts, right, came down. And in it, which he live screened from church on Sunday, he said, "This is the time where we rejoice in the Lord. This is not the time to be sad. There are going to be people who wish on your downfall." He victimized Pauline Anderson, and she's the single mother of one of the parishioners at Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in Brooklyn. And he also had a lending company in the Bronx, and he also scammed a businessman named Brandon Belmonte. So, he basically used his position to finagle these people. The mother of the parishioner, she considered him a mentor and a spiritual advisor to her son. So she put her life savings, the $90,000, believing that it would be used to buy and renovate a home. But the evidence showed that Whitehead spent the money on himself, including designer clothes, a BMW, and other luxuries. Why it's always got to be clothes, money, and all of that mess? He's frequently featured in Gucci suits and thick diamond bejeweled crosses, Cuban links, things of that nature. He had previously been convicted of identity theft, and he will be sentenced July 1st. So, it's not the first, middle, or last time that we have heard about someone using the church to scam individuals. But I just wonder, in 2023, 2024, when things are so easily verifiable, when a paper trail, you don't even have to be that computer savvy to get the information. Is it really worth the risk? And just so that you can get fly drip, basically? I don't know. Like, where are the respectable criminals that, want to build a playground or something? I don't understand why we're still doing schemes and stunts to look good on the gram. And I often wonder, we've had little bits of commentary about Mayor Adams, but what do people really think has done? There's always been corrupt politicians. There's always been politicians that are a little screwy. But has what happened with Donald Trump being elected and potentially or realistically being on the ticket for the Republican Party in this upcoming election, is there no more dignity left in politics? Should we go in expecting that the majority of people, and of course we feel like people are going to lean one way or another maybe, and we work around that, but should we go in automatically thinking that people that are in politics or surrounding them are inherently corrupt? So I'm just wondering about that. If you have any thoughts, chime in. Of course, there is the YouTube chat, as always. It's always lit in there. Of course, you can give us a call and let us know your thoughts. This isn't along those lines, but in the same vein, we know that recently in Florida, the colleges there have eliminated all of their diversity and inclusion programs. So this weekend, of course, the NAACP Image Awards are taking place on Saturday. They've already started giving out some of the awards this week and having different panels and events leading up to the big one. But it was announced that the NAACP is now urging student athletes to reconsider colleges in Florida following the elimination of these DEI programs. And it's interesting. We know if we look back, 50, 60 years to the civil rights movement and the things that people sacrificed. We saw people like Muhammad Ali give up his career, basically. We don't know how much more or how much further advanced Ali could have been, how many more titles could have been under there if he hadn't, stood his ground about going and fighting in the Vietnam War and what we lost. So it seems like in this era, because we made those gains during the civil rights movement, that individuals, and I'm not saying that they should, but are less willing to give up their personal goals for the greater good. It's something that we've discussed a little bit in relation to other topics, other things, other pieces of content. It's actually something that I discussed with the cast of The American Society of Magical Negroes, which is a film that's coming out, I believe, next week, the 22nd, stars David Allen Greer, and it is about a society of black people who are dedicated to making sure that white people always feel comfortable. It's a satire film, but one of the things that comes up in it is about sacrificing your personal self, your goals, maybe in that moment, recognition, acclaim for the greater good, not the good of white people, just the greater good in general. And so I wonder, is that a concept that we really live in this current time? Because we do talk a lot about, moving the culture forward and what it takes to do that. But is most of the conversation really just lip service and online? Are people really, you think about things like the Montgomery boycott, the bus boycott. That went on for over a year, I believe. I don't know if this generation is willing to give up something en masse for a year. Like, how many people said when the Colin Kaepernick stuff went down, I'm not watching the NFL? And how long did that last? I'm not mad at you. I understand. I'm just saying, are we in a mind state right now where we can collectively really come together and stand our ground for a belief? I think it's hard when you're talking about athletics and scholarships and, luck and timing are things that have a lot to do with what happens in a college sports career, a person's career. Everyone obviously is not going to be able to go pro, but you might only get a couple of shots to have your college fully paid for because of an athletic scholarship. You might not have the same opportunity at another college. So I don't know how fair it is to ask these students to give up their scholarships, their opportunities to go up against, I guess, Florida legislator. When you think about it, of course, that is our history. That is something that we've moved through, but I don't know if it's something that is currently more than lip service, I guess, for the average person. At any rate, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put the ending on the Bishop Lamor story. After he was convicted, and this is all kind of related, giving up something to the greater good, because the reason why it's connected is, Bishop scanning parishioners just to rock Gucci, right? But we're asking these student athletes to do much more, but not with a plan for what to do after that. For some, will they be able to get in a transfer portal, perhaps, and go someplace else? Yes, but what about the ones that aren't? What about the ones that are just this one shot? Who protects them? It's kind of a weird position to be in because someone has to make the sacrifice in order for the impact to be felt. But who is that person and to what degree? It feels like the further that we are from the civil rights movement, even with the attack on all sides, kind of our liberties and rights, we still aren't getting together on that point. But anyway, back to Bishop Lamont for a second. After the conviction, he did post on his Instagram story because, of course, why wouldn't he? The story isn't over. It's just a new chapter. Stay tuned. God is still God. They can all laugh now and talk. After this, Jesus will still get the glory. And he said, stay tuned for the new chapter called Truth and Vindication. I hate I guess I feel like scamming for children, scamming for religious reasons, and scamming like via medicine, I think those are so low because it plays on people's emotions, and it also causes people to be skeptical the next time when someone really needs that help, when they really need, assistance. People are going to be leery because they see these type of things play out in various places. The businessman, Brandon Belmonte, that Bishop Lamor tried to scam, he owns a body repair shop in the Bronx, and he wanted Lamor to give him $500,000 and promised him that he would have access to the mayor to get him favors done, and he told him, I can make him do whatever I want. See, and this is why you can't have scammy friends when you're in a good position. This is why they say everybody can't go, because you don't know who's out there using your name and your connections to make themselves hot. Like, why would you do that? He also told the FBI that when they were granted a search warrant for his home, he falsified phone numbers and the number of phones he had, and he lied on documents to obtain a $250,000 loan that he was utilizing to buy a New Jersey estate, Again, is the desire to flex on Instagram, to look like I got it, so embedded in us that you will scam a little 90-year-old woman of her life savings? It's sad. I hope they get Eric Adams out the paint too. I know some of you like him, but I just think the association, along with everything else, already tainted. When is his tenure up as far as that? I just think that if we want to move forward, we have to start getting back to the basics of the greater good. But I don't know if it's possible. At any rate, when we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now, work it out, then we cool down, baby. Tonight's the night I let you know.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Haiti's prime minister has resigned. The announcement came late Monday after weeks of chaos and deadly gang violence in the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Ariel Henry said in a video message that a caretaker government will be in place until a new prime minister and cabinet can be named. Henry has been under mounting pressure to step down and amid threats of civil war and genocide from a key gang leader in the Caribbean nation. The U.S. government last week urged American citizens to leave Haiti amid fears of the government could fall at any time. Retired Major League Baseball star Darryl Strawberry is recovering from a heart attack. The former Mets and Yankees player took to social media posting a picture of himself at St. Joseph Hospital West in Missouri, where he thanked the medical staff. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Tips to help improve your credit score in 2024. Establishing credit is an important key to achieving financial health, but building a credit history from scratch can feel challenging. since you need credit to build credit. First, what does it mean to build credit? All consumers have a score between 300 and 850. You want your score to be as high as possible as lenders look at your credit score to make loan and credit decisions. A good credit score shows you have a track record of borrowing money responsibly. Remember, it's never too late to build or rebuild your credit. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024 and beyond. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're looking for the most epic place on Earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through thing called life. Electric word, life, it means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one, doctor, everything will be alright. Instead of asking him how much of your time is left, ask him how much of your mind, baby. 'Cause in this life, things are much harder than in the afterworld. This life, you're on your own. And if the elevator tries to break you down, go crazy, punch a higher floor. Don't lie, the world you're living in. Take a look around, at least you got friends. I call my old lady for a friendly word. She picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor. It's all I heard. I'm not gonna let the elevator break us down. Oh no, let's go.
Welcome back into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Little Prince, let's go crazy. Wow, it has been, that dropped in 84. What's that, 40 years? Almost be 40 years this summer. That's crazy. Shout out to Prince, though. I guess next month it'll be 8 years since he passed away as well. So time is certainly moving by quickly. At any rate, on to more happier things, or, well, not happier, but more interesting things, at least timely, so to speak. You know, there's always something bubbling with Kanye, and he took to his social media earlier today to announce that he is no longer working with Miami promoter Yes Jules. If you recall, she has been the subject of conversation. People tried to cancel artist Daniel Caesar, over her because he defended her, because Jules has worked on a few projects, and some people claim that she is taking credit for work that Black women have done in certain instances. Others have accused her of using relationships to move her way up in the industry. Of course, most of it unverified, but these are the things that's out there. So Kanye has decided that, he said that, we have decided to no longer have Yes Jules involved in the rollout of Vultures. All the activity on her page and with our fans in the past few days has been unauthorized. Then, Ye's chief of staff, Milo Yiannopoulos, and if you are familiar with him, he was involved in the Trump campaign and some other things like that. So not exactly a character that we, have full faith and trust in, but somehow the confidential letter that was sent to Yes Jules was leaked. And it says, "Dear Miss Cottard, enclosed, please find a letter and statement of account from your time with Yeezy. Fines incurred to date as a result of your NDA violations." Now, people always joke about NDAs, but we never talk about what really happens when you break them. And I mean, in some form or fashion, through the developments of a lot of the Me Too movement and things of that nature, a lot of NDAs were becoming nullified. But apparently not this one. But it does read a little confusing in it. So it says, fines incurred to date as a result of your NDA violations come to $7.7 million while you were a contractor. I suspended enforcement of this debt. It now falls due. Hassan from the compliance team will reach out with information about payment. Please note that any further violations will accrue more fines. Because you are terminated for cause, but also because you forgot to sign your contract, your termination is effective immediately. And none of the phone numbers or that information was redacted. And the other thing that sounded kind of crazy, it was an email that was sent. It says, "Dear Juliana, obviously you are fired. Yours faithfully, Milo." That's like kind of nuts to send that as a thing. I don't know. Everything with Kanye seems very chaotic. He put out a video, I think it was yesterday, once again, trashing Adidas because he says every time he comes out and speaks out against them, they drop an unauthorized colorway or some version of the Yeezy, which he has dubbed as fake product, to spite him. So I just wonder at what point is all of the chaos around Kanye gonna calm down? We know that he also revealed that he wants his kids, once again, out of Sierra Canyon. We know that his daughter Northwest, is planning on dropping an album. We haven't heard anything from Kim's side with that. I suspect that might be a battle between the two of them because it would seem like they both have different agendas, but that is where we are as far as that. The reasons why he allegedly fired Yes Jules was because she allegedly leaked the carnival video that he had and was posting unreleased music. Now, some are saying, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would she do that? The thing that is interesting is that a lot of times with campaigns for music, they'll do that. They'll secretly, like it just appeared somewhere, throw out a version of a song that people have never heard or unreleased tracks to obviously get conversation going and get people interested, and hopefully that they'll circle back and stream whatever project's coming next or whatever the case may be. So once again, I am conflicted by what is happening here. Is it just a missing of messages? Because it seems like something very Kanye to do, but Kanye is also very controlling. So we'll see what happens if he legitimately goes after her for the 7.7 million. But that's a lot of money. I hope she has something that she can clear. Kanye probably knows what it feels like, though, for somebody to come after you when you don't really have anything. At any rate, next up in trending topics and headlines, you fans are hard on these celebrities and pseudo-celebrities. And two, fans are wondering what's going on with these two individual finances, right? There are two new business ventures, or not really business ventures, but activities that have fans questioning what's happening. First up, Karrueche Tran has announced that she is launching an OnlyFans for her feet called Karrueche's Feet. And she announced it on Twitter, X, with a picture of her in a very nice pair of heels and white toes, because I know how the people love the white toes, and simply with the web address. And of course, it's got the people going. Foot fetishes are a very real thing. What's going on in your life that is what you're seeking out? At any rate, maybe she's joking. We'll have to see. Somebody will go and check it out undoubtedly and let us know. But, pictures of people's feet is a lucrative business. Seriously, people make a lot of money from that. So if that's what she's doing, I say go ahead. Bolster up the savings account, Karrueche. Get to it. We feel that. When we come forward, I'll let you know about another celebrity who is selling their closet. And here's the thing, a lot of celebrities do this, but I guess maybe it depends on if you like the individual or not. If you think that they could potentially be going through something, or if you just want to throw shade. But we'll give you the details on another celebrity that has quite a few items up on their closet so that you can, purchase something with love that has been gently warned, perhaps. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey LA, when you're trying to get where you need to go, like work, school, and what matters to you, Metro is here to get you there. With discounted fares and free pass programs, Metro is making public transportation affordable and easy to ride for everyone. Plan your trip at metro.net.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007 they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So we were talking about, ways that celebrities make a little extra cash, little side ventures. And we mentioned Karrueche, that she is starting an OnlyFans page for her feet. It's a very lucrative venture for some. People are into the feet situation. However, there's another celeb that people are throwing shade at online because they are selling their gently used designer items. So Carisha, that's Young Miami of the City Girls. She announced a few weeks ago that she was putting more items into Carisha's closet. As I mentioned, this is something like the Kardashians have been doing for years. I know Shawnee O'Neal used to do it a lot. A lot of celebrities put their gently, worn designer items out in the world to sell them. Because let's face it, you guys are very judgmental. And if you see celebs repeating looks and outfits, even though that's what normal people do, you talk about them and you call them broke. But if they put them online, you talk about them and call them broke anyway. But Carisha has her stuff on her website, and people are insinuating that she might be having a little financial flow issue because of the relationship with Diddy potentially breaking down. So one of Carisha's fans, I guess, hit her up with commentary. And she was like, I'm broke selling my clothes when I always had Carisha's closet on my website this whole time. Mind you, I've been doing this. Y'all people say anything, laughing out loud. And then she said, a fan said, people really ain't hear you when you said you made $1 million in like 2 days from your card game. And she says, the #1 drinking game on Amazon, mind you. So basically what she's saying is, I got coins. This is just a side venture. Which I believe her, because there's nothing wrong with, pushing your stuff out. I guess the timing of it is what people are questioning. The thing that another fan brought up that I thought was kind of interesting too is like, celebs are quick to respond to negativity, especially little negativity like this. Because realistically, girl, who cares as long as somebody's buying it and all of these things. But she hasn't followed up to the response and some of the commentary about her relationship with JT and if the City Girls are over. First we were talking about it's Yam season and Carisha's new reality series that was coming to BET Plus, and there's supposed to be new music on the way, but all of a sudden it's disappeared. I think the bottom line is something that we have been talking about consistently, is that it's getting harder for artists. I won't even say especially female artists, but I think as far as hip hop is concerned, we're not used to having this many options in rap. Ever. This is probably the most female rappers that we've had collectively at one time. Because if you think about the Little Kim and Foxy Brown era, there was some others like, your Rod Diggers, your Millions. Eve came a little later into the equation. Trina was there, but they all seemed kind of separate. And it all, for the most part, was very much on a only female in my crew type thing, the first lady of. And now we have so many for so many different places. And I think the competition is starting to get to people. I really do. We know Cardi is supposed to be dropping something else on Friday. I wonder, her label has experienced some layoffs as of late. I was looking at something and they were talking about the layoffs that are hitting the music industry. We know it's hitting media pretty hard, but the music industry especially. And they said that the areas, they pointed out that they are starting with, top to bottom, are things like radio promotion and some of the marketing areas, things that they feel that they could utilize AI for. And so I wonder how these type of things as well are going to start impacting artists, because we know that artist development is something that hasn't been first and foremost over the past few years. We also know that, let's face it, people aren't buying the music like they once were when it comes to hip hop. So now that we're coming up against all of these obstacles, Joe Budden called it, you can't just put out a girl, send her to Columbia to get her body done and make it a fun bop. Even though we want fun music, I wonder what the cream is going to be that's going to rise to the crop. What is going to be the separation out for these individuals? We'll have to see. At any rate, we've been talking about Wendy Williams a lot over the last few weeks. We know that her documentary aired a few weeks ago, Where's Wendy? Well, word has come down that Wendy's manager, Will Selby, who was featured in the series, her publicist, Sean Zanotti, are no longer associated with Wendy following the airing of that. They were two of the main people considered to be in Wendy's corner when we watched this series, but now, after, I guess, relationships that lasted almost a year, maybe a little more than a year, certainly as she's been in this current cycle, those two individuals have been relieved of their duties. This was put out by Star, the old school tabloid back in the day. And they said that despite being active in the docuseries, Sean and Wendy's business relationship had been severed for almost a year when it aired that. And that Sean reportedly did do her final job for Wendy in May of 2023 and has not represented her since then. You know, it must be hard. There's so much with the Wendy situation I feel that is still unanswered. Kevin has recently come out and asked, Kevin, meaning her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, for an accounting of what is happening with the Wells Fargo conservatorship because he feels he is owed back spousal support. And they are basically saying that there's no more money. And I just wonder who is really there for Wendy. I want to know what the son's rent and Uber Eats bill was prior to all of this happening. Was it on par with that? Who's in her corner? Because it's very sad when you see someone not only, having problems with their physical, but their mind isn't sharp. It isn't able to hold and keep things together, so they can't even trust themselves with their own welfare. And, you're left in the hands of the court appointed person. And we also don't know what they are really doing. So, it's just a really, really sad situation for Wendy. I hope it works out. I hope that we get, or someone get some clarity around it, because obviously, as we talk about with most things, we're not really owed an explanation, but we care and we've been along for the ride, so we want to kind of keep up with what's happening. You know, we shall see. Again, the conservatorship is set to be up for review later this year. I wonder if any of those documents that go on with that will be available to the public. Not that they should, but I would just like to understand how we ended up here and where all the money has gone. So we'll have to see. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to talk about Steph Curry and a thought that he has for plans in the future surrounding politics, plus more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.